Roblox has a wide variety of horror games with jump scares, slashers, and nightmare material. Gamers looking for scary horror games in which they must flee from creatures, killers, and monsters or flinch away from unexpected jump scares can visit Roblox, where they will find a variety of different experiences. Some horror games are based on other games and include well-known characters from movies and TV shows, while others create new, terrifying experiences. These are the ones that will send shivers down any player's spine, fill them with adrenaline, or even cause them to scream. Here are a few of the games that have stood out the most. Number 10. Survive the Killer. It is a round-based game developed by Slice Entertainment that features many iconic killers such as Jason, Pennywise, and Slenderman, among others. The players must flee from the killer or, in some cases, become one. Survive for each round of the killer. The players vote on which map they want to use. At the start of the round, one player will be chosen at random as the killer, and the remaining players must all survive the round together. The player chosen to be the killer gets to choose which iconic slasher star they want to be for the round, and their goal is to eliminate all other players. These games' monsters and boogeymen have the same proportions: cartoonish, comical, and overly simplified. As a result, comparing these Roblox horror games to actual live-action horror films is a bit of a stretch. Number 9. Casual Board Game. Developed by Morbid Games, the game is a terrifying experience filled with jump scares, loud noises, and flashing lights. Players engage in the casual board game by interacting with a realistic-looking Ouija board. Players must sit at a table and communicate with an entity that appears to be in the room with them using the Ouija board. They can ask several questions and receive answers, but they must be careful not to enrage the being. Based on the interactions, frightening noises such as breathing, a piano, and steps can be heard around the player. Players must survive by keeping the candles lit and not provoking the entity with which they communicate. Number 8. Poppy Playtime. Poppy Playtime. Story is based on the super popular horror game and is essentially a Roblox version of the game that you can play with your friends. The game is set in an abandoned toy factory overrun with eerie toys that have come to life. Even if you haven't played the horror game from earlier this year, it was very popular around Halloween. You'll enjoy the terrifying experience. You can play the game alone or with friends, though it's much more fun with friends. The primary goal of the game is to locate the special flower you used to work at the factory, but a lot has changed since then. Do you have what it takes to make it out alive? Number 7. Alone in a Dark House. Your mission is to investigate a heinous murder by following clues and hints scattered throughout the games. During your investigation, you will come across ghosts and other paranormal phenomena. You can play this game with up to 20 other people to find the killer. Alone in a Dark House is on the other end of the spooky spectrum. This one is a little frightening. It's a standard horror setup in an abandoned house full of secrets and few light bulbs. This somewhat story-based game has multiple endings, not all of which are pleasant. You can play with a group of other people, which makes the experience a little less terrifying, or on your own for maximum fights. This game is not recommended for children under the age of 8 because it can be disturbing. Number 6. Scary Elevator. With its distinct design, Scary Elevator distinguishes itself from all other listed horror games on Roblox. It is an elevator game in which players use the elevator to reach the top. On each floor of this journey, players will face a different monster. Elevator games are extremely popular. You descend through the floors, attempting to survive with your friends, each floor presenting a new horrifying encounter. Will you make it all the way to the bottom of the elevator? On Roblox, there are dozens of games like this in the horror genre. Just pick your favorite and start playing. Scary Elevator has some brand new scary characters to meet, which has attracted a large number of new players. Recent updates have increased the number of floors to a whopping 44, implying that there is plenty to see and do by the time you reach the bottom. Number 5. Murder Mystery 2. Murder Mystery 2 is a Roblox horror game in which you play 3 different roles: Sheriff, Innocent, and Murder. 12 players can play at the same time to solve the murder mystery by using deceptions and tricks. With its suspense and drama, it can make your heart race. Murder Mystery 2 is a popular Roblox game that is suitable for players of all ages. It's a reimagining of the classic Cluedo or Among Us game in Roblox. There is one murder per round, a group of innocents attempting to figure out who committed the crime, and a sheriff who can assist. Is it eerie? No, though the premise is a little dark for young children. There's not much difference between this Roblox game and a kid's cartoon you'd see on morning TV thanks to the quirky graphics and comedy guns. Number 4. 3008. The 3008 by Ugly Burger Zero is one of Roblox's best obscure horror games, with plenty of dark twists. Players must construct a base within a dilapidated IKEA and try to survive the night against angry IKEA employees. Players must quickly construct a base for themselves using the furniture in the store before darkness falls. When it gets dark, the enraged IKEA employees emerge and go after the players who aren't safely tucked away in their bases. To regain health and energy, players must collect food from various locations throughout the store. When the day returns, players can rebuild and move freely while waiting for the night. Number 3. Blair. Blair is inspired by Phasmophobia, this year's wildly popular horror detective game. You've been assigned the role of ghost hunter and must venture into some creepy locations with your friends. This Roblox game has in-game voice chat, which allows you to communicate with other ghost hunters and makes the experience scarier when you play with friends. There are currently numerous maps, ghosts, and evidence in the game, as well as a number of bugs that the developer has identified. Nonetheless, this game is a lot of fun right now and is one of Roblox's most popular horror games. Number 2. Roses. This game, created by Clockwork Entertainment, is undeniably well made, and the creators clearly put in an insane amount of effort. The dialogue, voiceover, and even the props in the background are all extremely detailed and executed flawlessly. Roses is a first-person single-player horror game that can be downloaded from Roblox. You'd play a character named Max who died in an asylum. It is now your responsibility to locate Max in that same old asylum. Because the developers paid close attention to the details, you can interact with the objects and props in the background during your exploration of the asylum. So, if you're naturally inquisitive and one of those players who pays close attention to even the smallest details in a game, you should definitely check out Roses by Clockwork Entertainment. Roses may be the perfect game for you if you enjoy horror movies and adventure games. Number 1. It Lurks by Terrible Box. This is not a single-player horror game for the faint of heart. It Lurks features monsters, eerie sounds, and plenty of jump scares. The premise appears to be innocent enough. You have an older grumpy brother who tells you to get out of his room and a good-natured father who leaves to go grocery shopping, but not before reminding you to get to bed by 10. When you go to sleep, the weird stuff starts. You wake up in the middle of the night, everything is dark, and you're all alone. You should know better than to go to the basement, but it's the only way to start the game and get through this terrifying night. Fortunately, the graphics aren't too dark. In fact, everything is vibrant and colorful. However, make sure that all of the lights around you are turned on, just in case. These are some of the best scary Roblox games to play with your friends. So, without further ado, give them a shot with your pals, as these are multiplayer Roblox games. What do you think about the eerie games we listed for you? Which games are you going to be playing? We would love to know your views on the games. You can comment on the games using the comment section below. Also, do not forget to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. If you like the video, show us some love by liking our video and recommending it to your friends to watch it. Bye. See you in the next video.